to see you this morning. Um, Coffee with Mary. I finished my coffee, but let's get into it. Here's the topic. I wanted to talk about 50 plus traveling if you're age 50 plus. So I just did a lecture workshop series in the San Mateo libraries in 8 libraries. I did a paid program on solo travel. I also did a couple secrets of stunning photos and yoga and writing. But the biggest draw was the solo travel workshops. So I see a lot of people 50 plus wanting to travel. So I want to encourage you today because this is a whole section of life as we know it that people are ready to rebuild our lives and wanting to do new things. And guess what? When I started traveling, I was in my late 40s. And this is what I thought. I thought it should be easier than me because easier for me than seeing my son do it at age 16 and 17. He started traveling the world and saving up money for his own journeys, his own dime. And I thought it should be easier for me because I'm older. Why did I think that? Because hopefully you have more wisdom and more money and more connections and more practical skills, which, even if you don't have more money, just the ability to have regular income, a different take on your finances than you did in your 20s, so you don't have to backpack and stay in hostels, which I've done. But now I stay in apartments, I rent hotel rooms, and have the comforts. So it's not like you're going to travel and not have those comforts. You don't have to go 5-star luxe, and I've done that too, but you pay for that. So, it's great to go to a 5-star hotel, but there's always such a letdown when you leave and go back to your regular life. I'd rather just have a nice apartment. Hey, thanks for joining Life with JD. Dead Funny Bunny, thanks for coming over. So, that's a good name. Hi. I'm talking about traveling and not letting people stop you, especially for 50 plus. If you're 50 plus, time to get on the road and you want to rebuild your life. Well, thank you, Gagoots. So I've been traveling for 20 years doing solo travel and been to 34 countries. And I'm a photographer and I have my own photography business. I'm self-employed. I'm also an author of 6 books. And I've done a lot of different, currently, in the last 5 years, I have different streams of income to make it possible for me to do this. I'm not supported by a sugar daddy, a big inheritance or anything like that. I make my own money. I'd be letting people stop my goals. Yes, very good. See, this is what I wanted to talk about. Don't tell too many people you're going to go traveling or you're going to start this business or you're going to do something really big, because this is what happens. When I started writing 29 years ago, this is what happened. I noticed I let it slip a couple of times to people and they'd be like, "Oh, are you published? Where can I read?" All of these ridiculous questions. No, I'm not published yet. I just started writing every day. Like, do you have a regular writing practice? No, I don't have a book out right away or an agent. It's like people ask the dumbest questions about stuff like that. Like, you just started writing. Like, that's huge to start a writing practice. And any goal that really means a lot to you is going to take your obsession to do it. You're going to be spending a lot of time and effort. I'm sub to you, LeBron Jackson. Great. Yeah. Come on over. Oh, listen, And I've got a lot more stuff I can share with you over on Substack. I've got different content. You can be a free subscriber, but I'm actually offering right now, if you become a paid subscriber, it's only $50 for the year. You get 50% off on all my workshops. And I'm doing one on solo travel, on how to do it. And so it would be, it'd be $97 for the year annual newsletter, which you get to have chats with me and the whole archive. And then we meet every week. So and then the workshop. So that's a 2-day thing that's coming up July 16th and 17th. What's your fave thing to do? My favorite thing to do is to travel the world. I absolutely love traveling. You know, apart from spending time with my family, I love going to a country. It might be one I've been to several times. I go to Italy 7 times already. I've been there, and it never fails to blow my mind and give me this completely different perspective on my life. I love the people, the language, the culture, the food, the landscape, the beauty. You know, that's the cool thing about travel. Like, out of the 34 countries I've visited and some I've lived in, there's going to be a place that stands out to you if you travel a lot, that feels a lot more like your home than maybe even your home country. So I highly recommend travel. I don't think it's for everyone, but I'm on a mission to get people to travel that want to travel, and want to do something really different and rebuild their life. I'm not the same after my cousin and brother died. Yeah, you know, I'm so sorry about that. That's devastating. You're never the same after loved ones die. So, you know, you may be on a journey to rebuild your life, and I think that is what happens when you love people and they die. I've lost both my parents. I was with both of them when they passed over, and it was significant because they taught me how to die. And now I'm not afraid to die, but it's also made me want to live more. So think of all the wonderful things about your relatives that have passed on, and take that and live that, because they're in a better place. And I think as you get older, and I'm 69, you start to realize that this life here is significant and we don't have that much time. So what is it that you want to do with your wonderful and precious life? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to... I've done a lot of volunteer projects that are so enriching. What is it that you want to do? Because our time here is limited. And when, you know, I'm glad you brought that up, because you know, all the people I know that have died that I love, a significant amount in my family of people that have already passed over, have taught me a lot about living in this life now and enjoying the life that we have. Hi, Braden. Thanks for coming by. We're just talking about life and doing the goals that you have, traveling the world. Not letting other people stop you, because think of it like, what if you were going to pass over tomorrow, but you only had this one day left? Would you do this particular thing? Would you go see those people? Would you... I'm going to go walking by the ocean next. Oh, you're asking me about hitting people back. Okay, that's another good question. I think when you're in school, he's asking if you should hit back if somebody hits you. When you're in school, and this happened to my son, and I talked to his teacher about it, there was a lot of hitting, but she told me, that first grade teacher, if you don't hit back, then you really get, you know, you get taken advantage of. So sometimes I think you do have to hit back, despite what your mother says. You may get in trouble. But I told my son, you know, I'm glad that you hit that person back, because I think that was the best thing that you could have done in that circumstance. I had to go down and talk to the principal about this particular incident. But, you know, if he's being bullied, he was being bullied and hit, like, that's your natural reaction to protect yourself. I wouldn't call you wrong by doing that, but I'm glad your mother is telling you to defend yourself because it can escalate very quickly. So listen to your mother. So anyway, back to what you want to do in life. Yeah, you know, it's not, things aren't easy. Like I have 3 businesses I'm running, and it's photography, writing, and education. And out of those 3, and there's also another one, this education one, I'm learning how to do teaching online, and there's a lot of technical stuff to it. And I hope you do join me online in this workshop. I'll put the link in the description. So if you want to come over, it's July 16th and July 17th. And it is $97, but it would be $50 if you did the annual subscription to my Substack, which I'll also put that link below too. And if you need a one-on-one session, I'll put that link in too, because that's what people find a lot of benefit from that I've done, consulting over the phone. And, you know, if you have, if you're at a place in your life where you really want to rebuild, and I know from being married 20 years, I'm divorced now, I chose to be divorced. I think it's been 20 years now that I've been divorced, and it was the right decision for me. It wasn't easy, but after being married 20 years, I made the decision to divorce, and it was pretty difficult because right away there were 2 financial crashes in Silicon Valley, and I suddenly had no clients, and my income went to 0. So that's how I started out. It was fine for a couple of months after getting divorced because I had my own income from my photography business. So it wasn't a big change financially until those crashes came. So the thing about bad stuff happening, you know, people dying, losing all your money, loved ones not in your life anymore, is that, you know, let yourself feel the feelings that you have, because you're going to get through them. Don't pretend you don't have them. I highly recommend letting yourself, like when I first got divorced, I cried in bed for at least 5 days. I couldn't even get out of bed. And I chose it. I was the one that wanted it. And that doesn't make it any easier after 20 years being married. I mean, it was mostly good. We just couldn't get through that final push of having it work. And sometimes you have to break up because it's not the right thing at that time in your life. So I personally think when you get older, in your late 40s, 50 plus, like I did, starting to travel and traveling all over the world, it's so different. You want something so different because you're at a different plateau and you're ready to leap to the new thing that you want to do, but you sometimes don't know what it is. And I'm sharing this with you out of complete vulnerability of what I experienced as I was aging from my late 40s into my early 50s. And when I started traveling, I had always wanted to, but that gave me something that I wasn't getting in my everyday life. It gave me adventure. I could be as curious as I wanted to be. I could explore the world. I could do it at a pretty decent, not spending a lot of money, because everywhere else in the world besides the United States doesn't cost as much as what it costs here to live and to travel. So if you're traveling in the United States, it's always more expensive. Like I've paid the same for a hostel dorm bed, this was several years ago, $50 in San Francisco with all these other people, that I've paid for my own private room and bathroom in Sicily in the winter. Huge room overlooking a gorgeous view, $50. So You know, it's a myth that it costs a lot. You can live quite well on $1,000 a month in many countries in the world. So it's not all about the United States, especially now with people thinking about leaving. So explore other options and don't tell people about it. Don't tell people that really haven't changed their life to the degree that you're about to, because they're probably going to discourage you and say, oh, you know, you shouldn't do that. It's dangerous, blah, blah. I mean, I heard that when I first started traveling. It's dangerous. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't go by yourself. Um, do it. Whatever happens was supposed to happen. So if you're following your heart, like last night, this happened to me. I want to share this with you. I was thinking about going back over the hill because I've got work over in Palo Alto. I'm over in Half Moon Bay on the ocean. And I wasn't quite ready to go back. I really love it over here. There's lots of nature. The ocean is here. And so I thought I was going to go to this place I've been going every night for the sunset. And there's also a pretty fancy restaurant. It's like a date night restaurant, but they have this happy hour and you can get a glass of wine for only $7. Highly recommend it. Anyway, so I had a feeling I should go there. And so I did. And I had a really nice time at this restaurant. And, you know, you see locals there that go there. And then I was taking a walk. I like to walk there, park in the parking lot. And I met this lovely lady. I made a new friend. She's in her 80s. She's told me her life story. She was just sitting by the road, and I thought, you know what's funny? I thought I didn't know for sure if she even lived in the neighborhood. I didn't know where she came from, and guess what? She was just sitting out there because she likes to say hi to people on the cliffside, and her beautiful house was right across the street. And I just thought, and she's lived there for 40 years. And so we made friends and we started talking deep right away. And I thought, you never know who you're going to meet in life. So don't hold yourself back. Like if you have a feeling, I'm so glad I trusted that gut feeling of going to that specific spot because we had a lovely conversation. Now, she told me some pretty heavy stuff about her life. She wants to write. She's been writing too, and she needs an editor, and I offered my services so I could even get a job out of it because I was so open. I think the reason it came was I was open to this experience with her. Oh, and this is the best part. She was sitting on her little walker with the seat, those walkers that have the wheels and they have a seat. And she showed me what was in the seat. And it was these little matchbox cars, like about 20 of them. And she says she offers them to little kids walking by that are with their parents. And the kids are so bored going on these walks because it is a place to go to walk by the ocean. And their eyes light up when they see the cars. I'm going to post a picture of her on Substack if you want to see what she looks like. I'll put that link below because she was just, that inspired me so much that she was out there knitting and wanted to, she'd open up her walker and say, pick out a car. Like, how cute is that? So she made my night. I sat and talked to her on a bench. There's a bench at that cliff, and it's right in front of her house. And I had no idea that was her house. It's a huge house, and, you know, she was very practically dressed, like, you know, nothing fancy. And I thought, I didn't even know if she had a home. And she did. And I was like, oh my God, this woman is wonderful. I mean, it's neat when you just go with, I'm going to talk with this person. I get a good feeling about them. See, this is the thing. People are afraid to travel. So after doing this paid series of speaking at these very high-end libraries, these are fantastic libraries where a lot of money has been spent on the actual atmosphere, environment, books, quality of the people working there in California. I would say these are the top libraries in the country. That I did these paid programs, so I felt very honored that they chose me to teach these programs. But after doing those, what I'm seeing is a lot of people are afraid to travel. I'm glad you're back, Life with JD. And if you are employing your guts in every situation that you're in, so this taught me to really trust my gut, you will have a very good time because, excuse me, you're trusting your inner intuition about what to do next. And I learned how to do that. I've been doing it my whole life, but I didn't trust it the way that I did when I started traveling 20 years ago, before I went to 34 countries. And I trust it all the time now. So you can make decisions based on what your gut is telling you. And that's why I want you to consider this is something to rebuild your life. Whoever was mentioning about, having your loved ones pass over, this could be a time for you to make a significant change. I know it has been for me when I lose someone very important to rebuild my life in a different way. And for me, actually, it wasn't death of people I love. It was having my child start traveling the world before I did. I mean, we had been on some pretty amazing trips, but I didn't see it as a lifestyle. And he had started doing it long term. Like the first one was 6 weeks, the next one was 9 months in Asia by himself, doing all these volunteer projects. And when I saw him do that, I knew his childhood was over. So it's like, when you're ready for a new stage in your life, you don't have all the answers, but be open to what life is giving you. That's what I'm trying to help you with. So I'm gonna leave now, but I will be back. I'm gonna be doing more live streams, and I hope you come on over if you see me on here, talking about life, travel, photography, being 50 plus and rebuilding your life. I'm 69 and I'm always rebuilding my life. I've been traveling full time since 2009. I started doing big trips, 6 to 10 month trips in 2005. And then I wanted to travel all the time after that. So my home base is California. So I come back here and I earn an income. And now I'm earning some income as I travel, but I do save up money from earning here and then travel. And then still I'm working as I go, but I'm not working at the level that I work in California, so I can put some money aside and try to live very simply here. So keep on coming over. I really appreciate that all of you came. If you have questions next time I get on, let me know, because I'm going to be doing this at least once a week, but I'm going to try doing it even more. So thanks for coming over, and thanks for letting me know that you're here. I really appreciate your presence. So I'll see you in the next one. How to turn it off. That's funny. It doesn't have an end. Dead Funny Bunny, that's a funny name. Let's see. Oh. Okay.